Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a look through my collection of vintage Fontana paperbacks. Now I do absolutely love this publisher, although I've not got hundreds and hundreds of books in my collection. But what I have got are predominantly crime titles, and there's quite a bit of Agatha Christie as well, with some of those fantastic covers by Tom Adams that started in the late 60s up to the early 80s. I absolutely love those. So that is what we're going to be having a look at today. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay, so we start off with Fontana book number 2. So sadly I haven't got number 1, but the series are numbered in the bottom of the spine there. And in fact all the ones that we're going to look at today do have a Fontana number on them. This is the classic World War II escape story, The Wooden Horse. And Fontana Books was after the original Collins Crime and White Circle paperback label of the 30s and 40s. This is what came after it. So this was the hardback Collins and HarperCollins publisher. This was their own paperback imprint, Fontana Books. So they stopped giving their books away, or the rights to their titles away, to people like Penguin, and said, no, we're going to just do our own paperback imprint. So that's where these have come from. Now this one is that was a reprint. It's like a third or fourth printing. This is a first edition. This is book number 5, The Sea Chase. So you'll see the very distinctive sort of spine there, the yellow and blue. Yellow was definitely the Fontana cover, and it did make them stand out on the bookshelves in the bookshops. And I really like the fact that they went straight away for a full colour, picturesque pictorial cover rather than the old standard Collins Crime Clubs that they used to publish. There we are, 1953 this one, so it does pick up the mantle straight from the white circles. And there you can see there's the list of the first 12 in the series there. The Crowthers of Bankdan. Thomas Armstrong, that was the first one. That was hardly a classic to launch the list, was it? But there you go. Number 31, I believe this one is. So, as I said, I'll give you the numbers, but I've only got about 100 in total. So, by no means is this a comprehensive look. But there are lots of Agatha Christie's, and this is the earliest one that I've got, which is the paperback of Lord Edgware Dies. Now, some of these you will notice will be in this video twice, and that is because the later edition has got a different jacket by Tom Adams, who I've been very much getting into quite recently. Number 41 here, Mrs. McGinty's Dead. Obviously, in a lot of cases, these early Agatha Christie's don't turn up in the greatest of shape because they've been read and read and read, you know. This is one of their non-fiction ones, looking at Rommel. But Desmond Young, number 48. This is quite a nice copy. Another wartime one by Eric Williams again, and it says it's been classed as the companion volume to the classic Wooden Horse escape story. Number 62, The Tunnel. This is RAF, I believe this is RAF Escapes, this one, but absolutely mint one that. I do love Second World War escape stories. 64, Beyond the Chinned Wind. Bernard Ferguson, another behind the Japanese lines in Burma. That was another very popular sort of subgenre of World War II non-fiction, and that was stories of people who'd suffered under the Japanese in the Second World War. Number 70 then, Agatha Christie's The Hollow. Nice jacket, that one. Not 100% sure who the artist was on a lot of these, I'm afraid to say. Andrew Garf, so we'll see a few of his today. The Cuckoo Line Affair, Murder on the Marshes. That one's actually signed John Rose. That's Fontana 76. Really do like the slightly upmarket way that these are presented, are very similar to Penguin, with the author's sort of biography, potted biography on the back, with a little about this book there. The other thing that I think is really distinctive of these Fontana books is the quality of how they are printed. So considering these are early 50s, they don't skimp on the quality. I think they're excellent in that regard, and the books have held together fairly well. They do it with mirrors. And Miss Marple solves a conjuring trick. That's number 80, Fontana number 80. 114, why didn't they ask Evans? I said you will see a lot of Agatha Christie's in here because I do sort of collect them across all publishers. And I got particularly vintage paperback editions, so there's many on the channel. In fact, I've done 2 dedicated videos on Agatha Christie in Penguin and Agatha Christie in Pan. A Press of Suspects, Andrew Garf, Murder in Fleet Street. But this video is a look at the Fontana label in total, and then we will do a separate one with the Agatha Christie Tom Adams covers, although I've got lots of those to show you today, but I haven't quite got them all. So once I've got them licked, I should do a separate video on that. Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Good news is the Tom Adams editions are plentiful and they're relatively cheap, which is good news. 175, Hercule Poirot's Christmas is a great one. This, if you've never read it, one of my favourite Poirot novels. 3-act tragedy, another one there. And it's incredible how the sort of design of the Christie books has changed over the years. You could take one book and pick 5 different covers, and they all have a slightly different take on it, don't they? Andrew Garf, The Riddle of Samson. Another nice crime title, that 186. Let's just have a little look on the date on this one. 1957. This is a nice 50s one, and there's a little list there. Once again, it's just a little list of what was being published at around that time. Now, I couldn't find online a definitive list of all the Fontanas, although one must exist somewhere. But on Tim's website, ticket.net, I believe he links to his own work in progress, where he catalogues the first sort of 400 or so Fontana books. So if I can get an exact link, I shall put that in the description down below. Harry Carmichael there, 193, Money for Murder. And 195 is Death in the Clouds. Hercule Poirot in top form. A bit of a beaten up old copy, that one, but we won't mind. Where are we? Here we are. So this is the next stack. 218, I think this is, Evil Under the Sun. $212, is it? 219, Pocket Full of Rye. So I've heard on the grapevine through a couple of book dealers that Agatha Christie has very much had a renaissance of late, and these early paperbacks are just flying. They're all selling. All the Christie backlist 228 here, Destination Unknown. Yes, apparently she's very hot again, which is interesting, isn't it? Maybe people have decided to get into her in lockdown. Maybe, I don't know. 232, Peter Cheney. I'll say she does. As I said, the bulk of my collection really is sort of Fontana crime on the whole, but that doesn't matter. Hickory, Dickory, Dock, 237. It's always a good series to collect, or a good genre to collect crime titles, because they're always someone who's looking for them, and they're sort of the ones I like to read, even sort of classic crime from this era. The End of the Track, number 240. This is Andrew Garf, very nice cover there, and I love the reds on that. That's beautiful, actually. Yeah, nice cover, that one. Slightly different back cover now. Still got the little about the book, but there isn't that much of a author biography anymore. Aidan Crawley, Escape from Germany, a history of RAF escapes during the war. Obviously, around this time, Colditz by Pat Reed had been published, 1958, and was a runaway bestseller. I mean, absolutely massive. So I think all the publishers were scrambling to get Second World War escape stories in print, and I guess that's just one of the Fontana ones. Number 250, the honour was given to Dumb Witness by Agatha Christie. And Fontana, slowly but surely, there's the little terrier there, slowly but surely publishing the entire Christie backlist. Although I think at this time, Fontana had a batch, Penguin had a batch, and Pan had some as well. So they were shared amongst 3 publishers. 252 here, The Dead of the Night, Harry Carmichael. And I guess they were all trying to outdo each other with sales. And the winner was obviously Agatha Christie in royalty. She must have made a fortune. The Mystery of the Blue Train, 258. Nice jacket, that one. Partners in Crime. Bit of a beaten up old copy of that one. It's missing the bottom of the spine, but for the time being, I'll have it in my collection as a filler. I think what we're going to do, because I've just about run out of space, I'm just going to pause there and pull the camera out a little bit. There we go. So 282 is Witness for the Prosecution. No picture on that one, sort of a more abstract one. The world famous play, now made into an all-star films. So they got some pictures from the some stills on the back. A screenplay by Billy Wilder, directed by Billy Wilder. And there we are. I think he was famous for doing directing Some Like It Hot, if I'm not mistaken. 282. 286 is Put Out That Star, Harry Carmichael. The blonde had all the answers, but where was she? Where indeed? Andrew Garf again, 289. The Narrow Search. He used a helpless child to blackmail his wife. How very dare he? 319 is Towards Zero, where murder is the end and not the beginning. I was lucky enough to have a small walk-on part when they remade Towards Zero under the most recent Miss Marple series with Geraldine McEwen. It was filmed fairly near to me, and I used to do a bit of extra work, and I was there for a couple of days on set, which was really nice. I actually caught a photo, which I'll pop in now, of Geraldine McEwen reading a copy of that, so I should have got her to sign it. 328 is Cricket House. Quite a nice distinctive cover, that one, with the girl biting into an apple. 334, One to Buckle My Shoe. Look at the face on it. More snarl, isn't it? 367, one I've had for many a year. I've had this one since I was a kid. It's The Invisible Man, H.G. Wells. I'm not even sure if it's the first edition, but it's one that I've had so long I've always kept it. Yeah, it's the second Fontana, December 1959. It's certainly one of my favourite books. I like H.G. Wells generally, and that's one of my favourites of his. Emergency Exit, Harry Carmichael. Murder was so simple and so vital. 395. About halfway there now, through the collection. 440, Dead Man's Folly. Poirot's treasure hunt became a murder hunt. 480, The Moving Finger, another Agatha Christie. Nice bright sort of jacket, that one. A Case for That Expert on Wickedness, Miss Marple. She's an expert on wickedness, you know. Right. 510, Dawn of D-Day, David Howarth. These Men Were There. One of those nice wartime ones. I picked up a little run of Fontana and some other publishers' wartime books at a paperback fair a few years back, and they were all mint unread books, absolutely pristine, for like 3 for a $5 or something like that. So I filled my boots and picked up everything I could get my hands on that I liked the look of, and there was a couple of Fontanas, and that was one of them. I think we saw earlier on the That one by Eric Williams, The Tunnel. I think that came from the same collection. 526, Taken at the Flood, Agatha Christie. A bit of creasing on that one, but I don't mind. 532, Marjorie Sharp, The Stone of Chastity, Virtue on Trial. 548, A Hero for Leander, Andrew Garf again. For her, it was a passionate crusade. For him, a shortcut to wealth. Just have a little look at this one, see when we're looking at. 1961, these now. So we've come on a few years. The style's just changing ever so slightly on these Fontana books. The Sitterford Mystery, 549, a masterpiece of detection by the greatest living crime writer. Nice copy of that one, which is good. I remember these Fontana and Pam editions were the ones I read as a kid because they were my mum's copies when I was growing up. 674, N or M. Now, this has got a slightly different design, so I'm not sure if this is a reprint. No, it's still a first one from 1962, but you see the style has changed. The banner along the bottom is gone, and it's just a straight Fontana books 2 and 6. Still got the yellow spine, retaining the same logo there. This one's back the other way. 774, Ordeal by Innocence. Had a man died for a murder he didn't commit? They lived in the shadow of the gallows. Ooh. Okay, 830, Andrew Garf again, The Far Sands. Very much a more modern one now, so I think we jumped forward a little bit in time. Let's have a look, a real nice copy of this one. 1963, yeah, we've gone forward a couple of years now. Still got the original insert in it. That would have been paid for to be put in there. 896 is The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding. Starting to see the covers get a little bit more refined now. $9.50. So this is the first one that I've got, which is by the legendary Tom Adams. And he did, I believe he did just about all the Agatha Christie's. I think there was about 6 or 7 where they had like a stand-in artist who, because he was busy for whatever reason, but most of the ones coming up now are by that great artist, Tom Adams. So that was Cat Among the Pigeons. Number 1000 was given to Christie, I mean, not surprisingly. And this is the first of The Pale Horse. Sadly, my copy's not the greatest. It's got a bit of creasing and stuff down the spine. But still nice all the same. George Johnston, this is 1051, The Darkness Outside. And I've got a few odd ones that are part of my Fontana collection. So I'm showing these chronologically as they were published and in number order. 1077, Mirror Crack from Side to Side, another Tom Adams jacket. Very, very good. 1268, The Clocks. These are really brilliant. I love these so much. 1418, another absolute favourite of mine, Caribbean Mystery with the head. Oh, it's brilliant. My favourite is coming up though. I'll show you it in a minute. That came out in the late 67, I think it was. This is 1475. This is The Professionals by Frank O'Rourke. This is like a movie tie-in. This one with Lee Marvin, Burt Lancaster, Jack Palance. This is my all-time favourite Tom Adams cover. It's this one here, Destination Unknown, the sort of Salvador Dali-esque cover. I believe this was first printed 67 or 68. My copy is 1967. Yes, because prior to that, it was the 1964 edition. So this is actually the first time that this beautiful, beautiful jacket was ever used, and I just love it to death. It's one of my favourites. It's brilliant. I'd love a poster of it, in fact. 1521 at Bertram's Hotel. Cool stuff. I wouldn't mind a slightly better copy of that one if I could get it. This is 2136, Third Girl. Nice with the peacock feathers there. Put it over. So here's the last little stack. So 2682 is By the Pricking of My Thumbs. And a lot of these were the tail end Christie books, which came out as Fontana Paperbacks like a year or two later. I really like this picture of Agatha Christie on the back with her hands crossed, a bit like a mummy. This is 2803, Endless Night. 2944, Hickory Dickory Dock. 2961, Murder at the Vicarage. It's really nice. That's another real favourite of mine. He would borrow props, apparently, Tom Adams, and put them into the pictures, which he would then copy. Some of it is like the materials of the artist, so some of his art books there. And then he's placed the gun into the cover. Excellent stuff. This is 3005, Halloween Party. And a lot of these say first time in paperback, because these are it was the first time they were put into paperback form, because they're the tail end Agatha Christie's. Lord Edgware Dies, 3059, another really great one with the is that a letter opener in the back of the skull. Ugh. And they are quite macabre and gothic, these ones. I just love them for that, 3187 is The Body in the Library. And you'll notice with a lot of these covers, there's little flies and bugs and wasps and spiders. Tom Adams was fascinated with insects. So it's another one of his little sort of trademarks. It's another one I particularly like, Dead Man's Folly. Of course, he didn't just do Agatha Christie. He did a nice run of Raymond Chandler books, 3295 here, Passengers to Frankfurt. He did a run of Raymond Chandler and John Fowles. Some of his books he did as well. He was mates with him. Did The Collector. Ordeal by Innocence there, 3310. Pop these last few up. Like that. Sparkling Cyanide, 3360. And come the end, of course, is Nemesis. They would actually start to credit Tom on the back, which was very unusual. To say the cover painting by Tom Adams, because he was well known. He was well known as a cover artist. 3930 then, Elephants Can Remember. I said these are all the paperback originals. Christie, a paperback first, I should say. They all had hardback editions first of all. 4255 is Posterion of Fate. .4277 is Curtain, Poirot's Last Case. Another good one, that. Bit yellowed, but great story if you've never read that one. It's really, really good. 4590 is Sleeping Murder, which is Miss Marple's last case. And the very last one in this run is 5676, which is this one, Poirot's Early Cases, which is that one there once again with the macabre bee/moth. Awful, isn't it? Oh. Now, I have got a book on Tom Adams, which I'm absolutely dying to show you. So let me just dig that one out now. It's this one, Tom Adams Uncovered. And it says it's his Agatha Christie work, The Art of Agatha Christie and Beyond. It's in this rather sumptuous hardback here. Now, it came out about 2 or 3 years ago, and I've pretty much finished reading it all the way through now, and I do absolutely love it. So I'll just flick through. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much on this. I just wanted to show you that it's out there, with Christmas coming up and all. And as you can see, it's absolutely sumptuous. It's filled with all his work. I think it's pretty much got everything in there. And what's great about it, you're seeing the artwork. There's like at Bertram's Hotel without any of the titles being applied, which is great. So you're seeing it uncluttered, as it were, and it also gives you a bit of a history about where he got the ideas for it as well. So it's a really, and that's the one we just looked at. So it's a really, really great book. So if we just grab that, look at that, there it is. So it's nice to see the books sort of unsullied, as it were. It really is a sumptuous bit of a book if you are a lover of great cover artwork, which I am. So I can highly recommend this. So I'll put a direct link to it down below, so you can get one from Amazon or eBay, whatever you fancy. Christmas is coming up, so you might want to put it on your Christmas present list, possibly. But what I'll do, I shall give this one a proper review. There's the other one we're looking at there. And also just look at the exclusive Tom Adams Agatha Christie jackets. Although I have got that one as well, the Colonel's Son. Once I've basically got them all, so as you can see, I've probably got about half the Tom Adams jackets as there is. Here's some of the Raymond Chandler ones. So I'm going to fill in the blanks. So I've got hopefully the full set, and then I'm going to I shall do a Tom Adams special with all my Tom Adams jackets from other series as well, including the James Bond and what have you. And also I shall review that book at the same time. But I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of it, because you might want to just go out and grab a copy just on the strength of that, because it is truly fantastic. So there you go. I hope you have enjoyed that look through my collection of vintage Fontana books. There's certainly some fantastic books in there, and I very much enjoy them. Now, do please look out quite soon for the Tom Adams special, where I shall give the Tom Adams book a proper review and also pull together all my Tom Adams collection, and we'll have a look at that separately. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it a thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing for regular vintage paperback coverage. There's lots on the channel, and there's lots more still to come, and I shall look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.